Perpendicular. You didn't see that one coming, did you guys? What's going on? A lot of people over on the Patreon were trying to guess the first word I would say on the live. You didn't see that one coming, did you? What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing? What a great recovery. It always feels good to be validated when things are red, when things are down, when things suck. And I'm standing there telling everybody, we're going up, baby. And then we go up. It's a great feeling, guys. It's a great feeling, man, right? And yet I still get people telling me I'm always wrong. I don't get it. But let's get into it, guys. What's cracking? What's going on out there? Let's get into the super chats. Leo, what's up, buddy? Let's go. Yeah, no kidding, man. Let's get to the moon. Matt, gifting out those memberships. Thank you so much, brother. Those are always appreciated. They definitely help the channel, man. So thank you so much, Matt, gifting out a membership over on Crypto Blueprint and on Crypto Future, guys. If you received this free membership, make sure you say thank you to Matt. Absolutely. Ramona, hit the like and subscribe here on Crypto Blueprint. Did you send that super chat on Crypto Blueprint, Ramona? Because I was talking to Andy this morning, I think it was, over on the Patreon, and he was telling me that that they weren't letting him send super chats over on Crypto Blueprint. I don't know why that is, but you sent that on Crypto Blueprint, right? Yeah, it looks like you did. That's weird that you can send it, but Andy can't. That's weird. Amazing Coins, just stopping by to show some love. Rob and Weirdos, remember to slap the like button and subscribe. Yes, absolutely, guys. Make sure you're doing your part. Hit the like and subscribe, guys. Listen, we have to beat out the algorithm. We are being shadow banned right now. Channel's being suppressed. We got 173 people watching. We got 60 likes. Let's get it going, guys. Let's get it up. Let's boost it up. Do me that favor. Be greatly appreciated. Look at that green candle on Bitcoin showing absolutely no mercy. 109,271. I knew we were going to recover, but I didn't think we were going to recover that fast. Holy smokes. Like in one candle. This is going to be a fantastic daily close, guys. The question in the chat or in the poll is, though, do you think Bitcoin can close today's daily candle above $109,000? That would be massive, guys, because we would officially be putting in a higher high than we have right here, right? So we'd be putting in a higher high, and we've already put in a higher low. So things are looking very, very good. You know, it's just people complain, and it's like they have no patience, right? These things play out, and now everything looks fantastic again, right? So yeah, just got to play the waiting game, guys. Beast mode. Hello from the workplace. Just popped in to say, let's go. There it is. Working it out, man. Get that dry powder, brother. Thank you so much for coming in and being here with me, man. I appreciate you, man. All right, let's get into the chat. Then we'll get into the news. Let's see. Big things are happening, guys. David, put in the likes. There you go, Dave. Welcome again to the community, brother. It's awesome to have you. We will be live over on the Patreon as soon as we're done here, by the way, guys. So make sure you are joining the live over there. It's going to be a good time. Coinbase listing for Wormhole. Yes, the Wormhole listing goes live on Coinbase today as well, I believe. Wormhole's only up 5% on the day thus far. So we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. It might take a couple of days for people to start to accumulate. Maybe we'll see the price go up. We'll see. So far, it's kind of a nothing burger. Wormhole's going up with the rest of the market at the same average. So we'll hold on. We'll see what happens. Mike, what's going on, man? So ready for an alt season. Patience is key. Been here since 2020. Not about to shake me out now. Let's go. Exactly, brother. Zebek, let's go. H. Barbarina in the house. Absolutely, man. Yeah, guys, listen, I also dropped my my DCA picks for the day over on the Patreon as well, so don't miss out on that video. I uploaded that about an hour and a half ago. William, good to see you, buddy. David, got XCN, Toshi, Swift, ACH, Cookie, Dog and Me, B3, all in order of bag size. There you go. Should I have less down Should I have less? Down 14% on the year. Did FOMO. I mean, so you're holding 7 projects. I mean, it really depends on how much money you've invested in the market, right? If you've only invested like 9 or 10 grand, then you're definitely over diversified. But I wouldn't be selling anything at a loss right now, though. I would wait. Markets are about to, it's going to be a fun July, guys. I believe it's going to be a very fun July. I would not be selling right now. Kizza, my dude, BTC looking healthy. It's trying. What's your best crypto purchase you had in terms of ROI, may I ask? In the grand scheme of things, probably XRP. I bought XRP below a penny back in 2017. I sold it at about $3.20. I took profits in December of last year. So that would probably be one of my top best ROIs anyway. Easy, yo. The Rob Alpha, too strong. YouTube sending in the hackers to infiltrate the community. Yeah, someone tried to hack my YouTube channel this morning. I woke up to a notification. But no bueno, man. No bueno. I don't know why they would. Well, I mean, I know why they would want to, but still, got to protect everything, guys, online, right? Joy, hey everyone, happy Wednesday. Hope everyone is having a good day. Hit the likes for Rob's great daily content. Cheers. Thank you so much, Joy. I appreciate you. Andy dropping those 7 herbs and spices on us there. It's working, Rob. You called it on Bitcoin, buddy. Awesome Patreon and community. Thank you so much, Andy. It's awesome to have you here, brother. Andy, guys, is one of our community leaders, one of our mods over on the Patreon as well. Love having Andy around, my Scottish brother, man. Big Botto, hit the likes. Absolutely, man. Absolutely smash those likes, guys. Smash it, abuse it. Jake the Snake, I'm not tired of winning yet. Let's go. El Curto. I don't know what that means, my friend, but thank you. Can you look at Jasmine? Bless you and your family. I can look at Jasmine for you, I suppose. I reckon. Let's have a looky-loo at Jasmine. Just bringing the chart up here. Uno momento, por favor. All right, let's go have a look at Jasmine. So yeah, Jasmine's, it's hitting resistance right now, as you can see in this trend line. When this breaks above this trend line, guys, this is going to be magical. This move's going to be magical. Everyone who's been like complaining and impatient when it comes to Jasmine, this thing's going to have a nice move, guys, coming up. So yeah, it's fighting resistance right now, as you can see. So we're just waiting on that break. Easy, when gas money. I'm walking to work so I can DJ more. I have a bike I can loan you. There you go. There you go. Communities working together. Wait till I get my money right. You can't tell me nothing. Spuds, what's up, buddy? Ari, hey everyone, my bags are ready for takeoff. Nice. J Money's in the house. Bulbasaur, first Pokemon of the day. Jared, bullish AF fam. Mike, we need 3 days of consistent closes to confirm. 2 for sure, but 3 makes me feel better. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. Guys, make sure that you're hitting the like and subscribe to the channel. Helps the channel grow. Costs you absolutely nothing. So absolutely bullish, guys. Go ahead and do that. Let's get this channel to a new all-time high in subs and likes and everything. Let's beat out the algorithm. Let's beat that algorithm like it stole something. Ready for the fun to begin. Absolutely. Strange Sky, what's going on? Rob, is the flux capacitor ready for the next time travel? Yeah, I got the DeLorean parked out in the parking lot waiting to go. There she is, Gamma Goddess. Bitcoin's pumping. Everyone's excited. I love to see it. Let's get this money. Mark, it's crazy knowing what's going to happen, just unsure of exact time and how crazy summer of profits. Let's go, Nick. If it ain't been forgotten, I know. Yeah. I've been married a long time ago. Number 32 on the likes. Nice. Tyler, what's up, buddy? First live I've been able to catch, and you know I smashed that like button already. Let's get this bull run going, baby. Jake the Snake says, Roberto, what do you see on the XCN chart? A Lamborghini is what I see on the XCN chart. Sorry guys, you asked me to look at Jasmine. I thought I was looking at Jasmine. I'm actually looking at the Onyx coin chart. Sorry, I thought I selected Jasmine. Well, then on the Onyx coin chart, I see a breakout coming soon. Now I'll go look at the Jasmine chart. Sorry, oh, Jasmine's right beside it. That's why. Sorry about that, guys. I could have swore I selected Jasmine. However, yes, so as you can see, Jasmine rejected off of your 236. We need to climb back up and touch it again. We could double bottom down here, though, at 209. I don't really think it's going to happen. I think we are going to see upside from here. If we go to the lower time frames, what's it look like there? I mean, on the 8 hour, one could argue you have a bull flag here, right? So things look bullish on the 8 hour. You had your false breakout, right? You came back down inside. You've been rejecting off. You've got yourself more of a bull pennant, bull flag, whatever. Either way, you're in a bullish structure. You are in a bullish structure on your Jasmine chart. Your breakout is going to bring you to roughly 1 cent 6-1 area, roughly. So that's what I would be watching for there. You could meet some resistance right here, though. You're probably going to meet resistance at 1 cent 5.5, right? So keep an eye on that level. But what's up, fam? Market's making a healthy turn in the green direction. Let's keep it going. Absolutely, man. Crazy videos are not showing up in the recommended or via notifications. Yeah, we're being shadow banned right now by YouTube, guys. That's why we need your help to beat out the algorithm here. They're shadow banning us. We need to work together here. We've got 273 people watching. We've got 104 likes. Let's get to 200 likes again, guys. That's going to be the goal so that we can beat this algorithm into submission. We're going to beat it like it stole something, guys, all right? So let's get that done. All right, Quentin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man. Amazing coins. I've been working graveyard, so I'm going to back to bed. Love you guys. Have a good sleep, brother. Get that dry powder, man. Time to join the Patreon. Time to join to Rob's Patreon group, guys, to get the best suggestions. Yes, I just dropped our daily picks over on the Patreon as well. Don't miss out on that, guys. Matt Adam, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. You really threw me for a loop with perpendicular. Well played. There you go. Ramona, you did. Okay, so it is working over there then, huh? That's strange, yeah, because Andy told me this morning that he was unable to send super chats on Crypto Blueprint for some reason. I don't know why that is. Let's go, y'all. BTC back. Jovan in the house. Danny's here. Like, and sub. There you go. The whole market is up 10%. What is happening with Jasmine? Can we investing in the wrong? No, we're not investing in the wrong coin. Afternoon. Not everything pumps at the same time, man. Volks, what's up, buddy? Finally got an alert on the live. Nice. Just bought 1 million Nadix to add to my bags. 10 million is my goal. Nice, nice, nice. DL dropping in to say, don't listen to that Martin Lucas investor. He didn't get an interview with the Zebek management, and now he's done 2 lives saying it'll dump. Yeah, so he's upset that the team wouldn't do an interview on his channel. Well, there you go, right? The last few days allowed me to lower my cost averages. Nice. There you go. Justin, why is Jasmine down? Because not everything pumps at the same time, man. Patience. Beebs, what's up, my dude? Good to see you, man. Ben's in the house. Like and subscribe. Help a brother out. Yes, it's the HBO special, guys. Z to the U. Jasmine is doing just fine. Yes, Over the Top is here. David, thanks. And around 48K at the moment. Nice, nice, nice. Kizza. I do think sentiment in crypto can turn on a 6. Yes, absolutely, man. Means peace upon. Oh, well, thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Richie Rich, where you been, brother? So ready for a solid pump. Good to see you, man. Hugo's in the house. Rob, this congratulations Sorry, congratulations. This congregation of like-minded peeps is superb. It's like chasing treasures with Indiana Jones, only better because this is real. There you go, man. It's the real deal, Rick. When I told her I was packing my bags, she freaked out. There you go. Nice. Made a 3x on alt player. Nice. Congratulations, man. You have the wrong chart. It's not. Yeah, I've corrected that already. Sorry, man. Only thing better than Corvette Summer is altcoin fall. Hundreds of millions of XRP being unlocked from escrow. That happens every month. Rawhead Nick. Every month, a billion XRP gets unlocked from escrow. That's not new. It's been happening every month for years. So there's just some content creators who try to use that as like clickbait, but it's a nothing burger. What happens is Ripple unlocks a billion tokens every month, and they use what they need. Usually they only sell about 1 or 200 million or whatever, and then they put the rest back into escrow again, right? But certain content creators will use this to try to get clicks, and they'll act like this is new, this is bad. It's been happening for years, right? Thanks for the gifted membership, Matt. There you go, man. Is Zebek almost breaking the 1 hour and 4 hour descending channel top line? Look at that. Look at that accumulation. Holy smokes on the daily. Let's look at the 4 hour. Is it trying to? Oh, yeah. It's trying to break out there. Yeah. It's trying to move up. See what happens. I decided to take 1 day off without looking at charts, and my Bitcoin takes off to the upside. That's how she goes, man. That's how she goes. XCN and Jasmine move similarly, so we'll forgive you. There you go. Exactly. Let's go XCN. Jasmine Swiftcoin. Beebs. Rob, is Bitcoin dominance pulling back a bit today? Let me have a look. I haven't looked at Bitcoin dominance yet today. Bitcoin dominance. Let's look. This is Bitcoin. Chart's looking good on Bitcoin still, baby. Let's go. But let's go look at the Bitcoin dominance. Yeah, a little bit of a pullback today. Yep. Look at that. A little bit, not much, just kind of trending sideways right now. So a little bit down. See, Alan, what's going on, man? You're the only crypto channel I watch. Well, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you being here. Crypto Otaku is one you should add. Yes, absolutely. Otaku is the man. Thank you for XRP knowledge. I appreciate you, brother. Hey, no problem, man. I got you back. Super fantastic. All right, we're caught up in the chat. It's a miracle. Let's get into the news, shall we? But first, as we always do, guys, quick shout out to the channel sponsor, Decent Biometric Wallet, guys. Use our link down below in the description. Get a fantastic deal. You can take profits right on here, guys. They have a 2-for-1 deal on your biometric wallet right now. You don't have to switch back to a centralized exchange. You can even stake long term. If you want to stake your stable coin through the bear market, you can do that on here. No problem, guys. Not your keys, not your coins. Okay, let's keep it going. Let's go. What do we got going on today? So the SEC is reportedly considering a simplified listing process for crypto ETFs that would automate much of the approval process. Under the proposed structure, issuers could potentially skip the lengthy 19B-4 application. I get the hiccups. Application process and list within 75 days. This is going to be huge for the top 50, most likely, guys. The top 50 altcoins. You're going to start seeing ETFs get approved left and right. Andy, I know you're liking that, man, because you've asked me about this before. This is huge, streamlining the altcoin ETF application process. Don't be shocked, guys, to start seeing these ETFs for the top 50 getting approved in the short term in rather short order. Massive news, guys. Massive news. Also, this, I did a short covering this, but I think it's hilarious, so we're going to do it again. The U.S. federal housing regulator calls on Congress to investigate Fed Chair Jerome Powell. So, man, the pressure is mounting on this guy. You almost feel bad for him. Almost, right? All right, what else do we have? Let's get into an article here. Metaplanet crushes Q2 estimates as Bitcoin income businesses boom. The company reported a 42% quarter-over-quarter jump in earnings from its Bitcoin income operations, far outpacing the projected 5% growth rate for the S&P 500. With 13,350 Bitcoin now under its control, Metaplanet has climbed to 5th place among global public companies holding Bitcoin, surpassing even Tesla and CleanSpark. This leap in performance was driven not just by appreciation in Bitcoin's price, but by the firm's structured income model tied to Bitcoin's derivatives. Instead of relying solely on spot market purchases, Metaplanet has deployed a strategy of selling cash-secured Bitcoin put options. These options, once expired or exercised, generate steady revenue while enabling the company to expand its holdings. The firm emphasizes that all contracts were fully collateralized and carefully managed to reduce risk, underscoring its disciplined approach to both revenue generation and treasury growth. The second quarter results put Metaplanet well ahead of pace to meet its full year revenue forecast of 3.4 billion yen, with 3.0 billion yen expected from its Bitcoin income division alone. The company said that this method not only accumulates Bitcoin at scale, but also ensures cash flows, a rare combination in the volatile world of digital assets. Metaplanet CEO Simon Jurovich celebrated the performance in a recent social media post, sharing a chart that illustrated the firm's continuous quarterly growth since early 2024. His message was concise but clear. Capital in, volatility on, revenue up, Bitcoin ahead. With institutional confidence in crypto steadily growing and Metaplanet's option-based strategy showing strong returns, the firm is rapidly becoming a model for Bitcoin-centric corporate finance. The strategy, the micro strategy of Japan, my friends, doing absolutely super fantastic. So yes, let's continue on. What else do we got? Seeing better value in small caps and non-US equities in the second half of the year. Let's check it out, guys.
Markets now with Joe Amato, President and Chief Investment Officer at Neuberger Berman, which has $515 billion in assets under management. Joe, great to have you with us.
Morning, good to be here.
Obviously, second half there, you take a look at what you should be doing with your own portfolio, and a lot of people are wondering. And what happened yesterday's market was really interesting because it was like July 1st hit, and there was just a rotation out of the higher multiple sectors, out of tech stocks, out of the AI trade, and into the lower multiple sectors, which you can argue may be weak, whatever you want to call it, consumer discretionary names. You saw Target up 6%, Macy's up, the underperformers. Is that what we should be doing?
I think you definitely saw a bit of an unwind of some of the momentum. And if you look at how markets performed over the first half of the year, we started the year with a broadening out, and some of the other sectors like value and non-US equity started to do well, and there was pressure on the top end of the large cap index. And then that bounced back, right? You've had some, resilient economic data, generally better rhetoric around trade. You had better earnings, so the markets bounced back pretty hard, but left behind some of those sectors like value and small cap. So you're seeing that rotation again. Our view is that's where the value really is, like rotating into value, into small caps, both of which particularly small caps, have really underperformed somewhat painfully the first half of the year.
How do you walk the line? Because by waiting, you have to have some exposure to the big cap companies, to the big cap tech stocks specifically. But at the same time, you want to go to where there is value in this market. And how does the context of an S&P at basically 6,200 factor into this here?
Yeah, on the large cap side, it's discounting a lot of good information, a lot of good news, and that's why we're more careful there. We're basically at target for large cap,
Okay.
but overweight, small cap, overweight, non-US, where they've over the last number of years have underperformed, and that's where we think there's better value for the second half of the year.
Non-US has been outperforming for a while now. So where do you still see value there, and which countries, which areas of the world do you like the most?
Well, you're seeing fiscal stimulus coming to Europe,
Yes.
finally.
Germany,
Some of the actions that probably overdue for multiple years, particularly Germany, right? So we think that helps. You saw a weakness in the dollar, which certainly facilitated a lot of that capital flows outside the US. And the other area that we really like is Japan. So we've been bullish on Japan for a number of years on the back of very, very strong improvement in corporate governance and better returns for shareholders.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned the weak dollar, so we have to talk. I mean, it was the worst first half of the year for the dollar since 1973. It was down. The dollar index was down 11%. I'm wondering how much of that factors in for you, and if you foresee more dollar weakness. I mean, it seems like all the factors are out there to say that the dollar will continue to weaken.
I think you've seen probably the worst of it, but I think we still see the dollar grinding. And if the Fed does end up reducing rates at some point, we think there'll be 100 basis points reductions over the course of the next year, whether it's this Fed chair or the next Fed chair. And I think that will probably put a little bit more pressure on the US dollar.
So is that good? I mean, is it good for US multinationals? There's research that it is good for US multinationals, but in the long run, maybe it sort of is a wash.
I think it's a long run, it's a wash, but I think it is one of the reasons why we're overweight developed markets outside the US is because of that sort of grinding, softening dollar that we see over the course of the next probably several years.
Yeah. What is a good multiple? What is a fair multiple for the S&P 500, which is at like 27 now?
Yeah, I think you have to dissect it a bit, right? Because you've got the multiples at the top end of the index, which are extraordinary companies that have had amazing growth characteristics over the last number of years, right? That are trading at a premium to that. And you've got the rest of the market. So, we're more focused on the rest of the market where multiples, while not necessarily screamingly cheap from a historical standpoint, I think offer more value.
So the other multiples, so we're talking, consumer discretionary, for instance, is what, 22 or something like that. I mean, there is a catch up here, is basically what you're saying for the second half of the year.
Yeah, well, again, I think in the areas that have generally either underperformed or were left behind a bit, I think you'll see a bit of a catch up. And part of this is, you've talked a lot this morning about the tax bill, about some of the other pro-growth policies that may be coming out. And I think that will do well for those, whether it's as often is called the 493 of the SP 500, or probably more significantly as you get into small and mid cap, right? Those pro-growth policies, less regulation. I think that bodes well. So
we mentioned the context of the S&P 500 at 6,200 right now. So is it churn, and so the rest of the 493 move higher and the tech goes lower, or is this within rising, the rising tide lifts all boats kind of thing when you talk about the growth in the tax bill?
I think the top end of the index is going to grind it out. I think you're going to see a bit of a trading range, and our expectations you'll see catch up in some of those other areas of the markets.
Banks are definitely not catch up, but they're in favor by institutional investors. So where do you stand there? And there is also a large cap versus a mid cap and small cap component trade to the banks also, where a lot of people are recommending now to move down the cap scale within banks, since large cap banks, like so many other large caps, are fully valued right now.
Well, financials, you've got the prospect for less stringent regulation, right? You saw yesterday in terms of stress tests, right? So there may be capital returns, less regulation, and with an improving economic outlook over the next number of years, I think that generally bodes well for financials.
We've hit a lot of ground, but tariffs, we haven't touched that. You haven't mentioned it. It hasn't crossed your lips in this whole conversation. Yeah, what kind of sort of wild card is that for your basic optimism? I think you've got some
headline risks for next week, right? You've got a pause. The president has talked about not extending. Secretary Besson has talked about, for those countries that are negotiating good faith, you may see an extension. It is hard to get deals done, right? There's a lot of talk about getting a deal done with Japan. They've got a big election coming up at the end of this month, right? We don't expect to deal with Japan prior to the upper house elections coming at the end of the month. But it seems like there's engagement going on, but it's unlikely you're going to see a lot of deals for July 9th. And then you've got also China looming in August. So that's something that we're watching closely. I think The rhetoric has been better over the last couple of months, and that's improved the sentiment in the markets. But that's something that there's definitely headline risk there.
And what have you seen in terms of flows and just sentiment amongst clients, particularly individuals? Are they putting money to work, or are they pulling money out?
We saw an interesting dynamic with individual investors during the March-April periods, where it was almost like institutional investors were more panicked about the tariff situation,
right,
and whether they understood the full ramifications of it. Retail actually was buying into that
right,
drawdown, having seen maybe some of the benefits of buying on the dip over the course of the last number of years. So we didn't see that level of panic at the retail side, which was interesting and I think encouraging.
I do agree with him. We'll probably see Powell replaced at some point. I think Powell will either cave and cut rates, or he'll just resign, because the pressure's mounting, man. Ben wants to know, how's the Russell doing relative to the 200-day? Well, let's have a look at the Russell. Look at that. Breaking to the upside very nicely, my friend. Very nicely to the upside. This is a good sign, guys. If you have no idea what this means, the Russell is basically everything outside of the S&P 500, right? So small cap stocks, essentially. And it represents, when it breaks out to the upside and starts to go, altcoin market cap goes with it, because it represents an appetite for risk on assets, right? So the Russell is breaking to the upside very nicely today. Let's go look at the total 2. Total 2 is trying to break out of the bull flag right now too. Look at that, guys. Very nice. It's breaking out right now of the bull flag. Can we get above the 200-day on the total 2, which is the market cap of the altcoins, everything except for Bitcoin? So things are looking juicy, guys. Things are looking juicy. What else do we have? Ben, I believe it's breaking out. Yes, nearing its, yep. How we doing, everyone? The end of July is all we need. Let's go. There's 8 billion people, and I'm lucky enough to be part of, yes, in your Patreon. There you go. Exactly. Lily's in the house. What's going on, Lily? Angelo, Bitcoin is sucking liquidity from the alts. Once Bitcoin reaches its peak, oh boy. I wouldn't say it's sucking liquidity out of the alts, man. Alts are green right now, and the altcoin market cap's breaking out of its bull flag. So, guys, make sure you hit the likes. We got 330 people watching. We've got 136 likes. Let's get it to 200, guys. Come on, we can do it. Put your back into it, just like Ice Cube says. What is the Jasmy RSI on the daily and the weekly? Is it oversold now? Don't you know how to look that up on the charts, my friend? I'll have a look at it for you. It's pretty simple. Let me zoom out on this first of all. You got to go to your indicators. You got to go to your RSI. Let's drag this up a little bit. Let's have a look. We are on your, what am I on right now? What time frame am I on? I'm on your 4-hour. You wanted to know about the daily and the weekly. So let's go to the daily. We are sitting at 43.91, technically in the oversold on the daily. And on the weekly, we're sitting at 39.79. Yes, we are oversold on the weekly and on the daily timeframes. Liquidity. Let's see how Bitcoin performs the next couple days. Market closes Friday for the holidays, so maybe boring price action for the. Yeah, we could see some. You're exactly right. We could see some boring sideways action over the weekend. We probably will. The day after tomorrow is July 4th, right? So. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Something, Cotton Eye Joe. What's the worst of it? Excluding Terra Luna? I would have said 100%. I would have said Terra Luna. My worst would probably be something like what was that? What was that gaming project that just on on Polygon Matic that just bombed. Probably would be, where is it? It's not even on here. I'll go with Mainnets. Mainnets ended up tanking on me. That's actually climbing back up now. Oh no, it's not. Never mind. Yeah, I would go Mainnets. Layer 1 that I thought would do well did not do well at all. So, can BTC fall below 107 today? Can it? Yeah, of course it can. 100%. Hybrid Dad, the amount of watchers dropping should be expected. Everyone is built for consistency. Emotions control everything they do. When the market is good, they're good, and when it's bad, yeah. And here's the thing: is that's the opposite of what you should be doing. When things are bad, when things are boring, when things are not pumping, that's the best time to be paying attention, because that's when you learn what's going on. That's when you learn everything you need to know about how to handle this market mentally and emotionally as well. That's why most people don't succeed, because they leave, they don't understand that, and then they come back and they want someone to catch them up on what's going on, right? Because they're too lazy to pay attention to what's happening. I agree, Hybrid Dad. Rob, thanks for your help and wisdom. Keep shining, brother. Blessings, John. Thank you so much. Ty, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Posted John 13th, and then yeah, exactly. Coincidental indeed. What's up, family? Milk Money in the house. Blessings, bro. Double the likes for double the gains. There you go, guys. Same to you. Christ is King. Yes, he is. Amen, brother. Amen to that. Bitcoin has to move before alts. Yes, absolutely. Christ is King. God is good. We much love. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. What's next in the news? What else do we have? Bitcoin rises in July amid institutional market signals. Bitcoin has made gains into July despite a lackluster sentiment in the derivatives markets. Wintermute provided insight on Bitcoin's funding rates, while CME Group rolled out new futures contracts. In this landscape, institutional players, including CME Group and Bill Pult from FHFA, are driving significant regulatory and productive advancements. The price increases in Bitcoin are observed. Sorry, my cats are hissing at each other down there because one wants in the cat bed and the other one's in there. Sorry, guys. The price increase in BTC are observed against the backdrop of low derivatives activity. However, the introduction of spot-quoted futures highlights institutional confidence. On-chain realized profits reached 2.4 billion, driven by long-term holders. You guys knock it off. The market action affects several cryptocurrencies, primarily Bitcoin, with altcoins like Ethereum and Solana following due to related ETFs and futures news. Institutional shifts might influence liquidity, hedging products, and staking in the near future. Emerging financial products such as Rex Osprey Solana staking ETF signal significant liquidity shifts for Solana. Historical data indicates slow derivatives movements can precede market adjustments for major cryptocurrencies. So there you go, guys. There you go. What else do we have? We got another clip to get into. Yeah, I'm hearing whispers about a Solana ETF approval, but I haven't seen anything written in stone yet. So, former World Bank President David Malpass, the Fed has the rates too high.
Tariffs had lifted inflation forecasts and we're keeping rates on hold. Joining us now for more on the Fed and the U.S. economy, David Malpass, former World Bank president and now distinguished fellow of international finance and inaugural fellow of global business and infrastructure at Purdue's Business School. David, great to have you with us.
Hi, Melissa. Good to be on.
Where do you think rates would be had it not been for the tariffs? Would we be lower? And do you agree that the Fed should stand pat? And I'm wondering how long you give it to see what the impact of tariffs will be.
I was surprised to see the chairman say that. He was in Europe, and you have to understand the context in Europe. It's all these central bankers sitting around talking and basically anti-Trump. And so that made sense there, but it diverts attention away from the real problem. The Fed has the rates too high, and the question is, when are they going to cut and find an exit strategy from what they're doing? The Fed's have created all these problems, these cycles of inflation and deflation, and I think they have to. There has to be a full remaking of their models. Trump's trying to do that, but it's going to take time. And look at Europe; they're just going to stay stuck in the mud.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm interested in your notion that the context is important in terms of it being a very anti-Trump crowd, because it's almost like the Fed chair was saying, "It's your fault, President Trump. You are the one keeping rates high at this point."
That's the way they want to put it. But the reality is, how do you find models that actually welcome growth? Look, Europe is running a very slow growth, practically a recession all the time. The central bank says that's good because that way you don't overheat. Well, if you run a whole world, the U.S. economy on the grounds that you don't want to overheat, that's really bad for the forgotten man. Trump ran on the idea that there'd be higher medium wages and especially manufacturing jobs. And you can't do that with the rates where they are. They're too high for that because commercial and the actual working capital loans that are needed for small business and for manufacturing aren't there. The banks aren't doing it because all they want to do is lend to the government.
Hey, David, I have a question for you about this bill, and I want to read you. This is an op-ed just this morning from Robert Rubin, Larry Summers. It's titled, "We both served as Treasury Secretary. We know this bill is dangerous." They go on effectively to say, well, government can and should be more efficient. We cannot achieve the sound fiscal trajectory required for longer-term prosperity without significant tax increases. Rather than a legislative package that delivers trillions in tax cuts to the top, we should go back to the drawing board and find ways to raise trillions instead. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that's wrong. It's not a tax increase. You know, it would be a tax increase if they didn't do the bill. And so this gets tangled up in the scoring. We saw it over the last week where they are using the CBO models, the Joint Tax Committee models, and the parliamentarian that were all put in by Biden. And so the reality is you need to change, you need to extend the current tax rates. Otherwise, you'd have a tax increase. And so the growth impact of that would be horrible. So I don't agree with Secretary Rubin or Summers. They served in the 1990s and had deflation. You know, it was a singular period where the Fed models were not working at that time. So we have to break out of it both from the scoring models that are on fiscal side, but it's the same limits to growth models that are on the Fed side. I think there's a chance right now to remake those models and say that we don't want to concentrate wealth in the rich. We want to see jobs in the middle class, in people that are doing manufacturing. Trump signaled that with the no tax on tips. And I think the American public just looks at that and says, good, that's the right way to go.
I think most would agree that the extension of the tax cuts very important in terms of stability and investment, growth, et cetera, David. But is a price for all of this, I mean, the price is steep. It's an additional $3.3 trillion in debt. And I'm wondering how you think about the importance of the deficit right now, or if that's something that we just, as long as we can keep selling treasuries, this is all fine. As long as we are the default reserve currency, reserve asset, you know, there is no alternative to U.S. treasuries. We are fine increasing the deficit.
The debt is a big problem. The U.S. government is sucking money from all over the world. But that $3 trillion number that you're doing, and the New York Times does it all the time, is not the increase in what the debt would be. It's this static model that if we didn't extend the tax cuts and if there was no impact on growth, then we'd be better off. Well, that's a hypothetical world that's not reality. So we've got to stick with the idea that this U.S. economy can grow much faster than it is. The Fed's in the way because they're using models that are inherently limits to growth, and this is the opportunity to break out of it. So I think we have to recognize the bill itself will get this problem moving forward. I think financial markets will react, already have been, reacting positively to the bill because it gives stability in the tax code. It's been odd that the Fed has not, throughout this last 3 years, where there were these huge blowouts in government spending, the Fed was silent. And we have to say that all of Washington, D.C. is complicit in this of making the government bigger and bigger. So that should come to a stop right now.
I kind of agree, guys. Listen, I never used to believe this, but it seems to me now like Jerome Powell is not acting in the best interests of the American people. It seems like he's acting simply again in spite of Trump, right? I mean, he gives, with the economy way worse, with inflation way worse, he gives the Democrat Party, when they were in power last year, a full basis point rate cut, right? A full point. He refuses to do so much as a 0.25 basis point cut with a better economy, better inflation, and everything looking better. There's not really a valid excuse. He's just hiding behind this whole tariff thing as an excuse, blaming Mr. T. That's why I don't blame them for wanting to get rid of him. I do not believe at this point in time he's acting from a intellectually honest position at all, right? Beebs, I got the beard growing, Rob. I'll keep it on for the next 5 months. Beebs has his crypto playoff beard set. Rob 1, Cats 0. Cycle beard. There you go. Hit the likes, guys. We're trying to get to 200. We got 346 people watching, 163 likes. Let's get it up to 200, guys. Jake the Snake, tariffs are deflationary. The Fed citing it as a long. Yes, I agree. 100%. Loss. My wife used to bother me when I'd be on the phone for long periods of time, but thanks to the Patreon, I showed her my green portfolio, and now I have unlimited phone usage in sweet silence. There you go, brother. There you go. Yes, Abyss World. That's what it was. Yes. We're so close. Yes, I agree. Maybe Powell and Gensler will have a secret are having a secret affair. Yeah, no kidding, eh? No kidding, man. All right, guys. So listen, Bitcoin's looking juicy. $109,390 right now. Let's get a close above $109,000. That's what I want to see. I have a mentorship coaching call that I have to get to over on the Patreon, guys. Get over there, join, book yourself into one of our mentorship coaching calls today. Let us teach you how to exit this market properly with your profits intact. I also just dropped our daily picks over on the Patreon as well. I just uploaded that video a little while ago. So get over there for that. Friday nights and Saturday nights, open mic night, guys, open mic weekend. That is where we turn the camera and the microphone over to you. Get over to the Patreon, guys. You do not want to miss it. I'll see you guys later tonight. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless.